So one thing is one big thing is pricing. So, and this is also a big one, I think, that many have. So, for example, creating high price products and sell this. So there is something inside us that teaches us to be cheap. I don't know, but or can you give lessons on how to be okay and fine to create high priced value products and also sell them? So one thing is the mindset and that you value yourself, but is there another thing that you would recommend that you have in mind?
Yeah, I would, I'm also a marketer. I do a lot of different things. So I'm a marketer. So one of the things that I always tell for marketing is I do split testing. It's not what I think that people are going to want. It's what they actually want. That's like one of my mantras. So I test. If I look at a sales page and go, man, that's an awesome page, I still test it,
Yeah.
and I'll change a headline, do those type of things. So what I always tell coaches, consultants, service providers is split test your prices. One thing you're going to find is a lot of times people don't want cheap. I know I don't want cheap. I mean, there's certain things I want to get done very, cheaply. I can go get a logo and things like that for $5, right? But if I want content, if I want something, I don't go to Fiverr for content. I go to other places and I look for specific things because for me, I want value with what I spend my money on. But like you said, the mindset for most people is I'm going to go cheap. And there's people like me that I spend money all the time. I spend a lot of money and I still have mentors this day because I'm not great at everything. I'm really good at a ton of things and great at a ton of things. That's my mindset. But there's other things I'm not that great at. So I always still get mentors. And I don't always get cheap people, right? Even when I couldn't afford it, I went out to get the best because that's, to me, that makes a difference. So what I would do, and people, you'll be amazed if you actually increase your price, you may get more customers. So what I always tell people is split test. Like have at least 2 different price points that you test. And then at the end of the day, figure out what your goals are as well. And also look at how you're changing people's lives. Now there's quantitative things like if somebody hires you to increase their sales, like let's say you're a Facebook coach and someone comes and says, listen, I want you to get me more sales. Well, you can track your clients, right? So let's say you start at $250 an hour or whatever, $150 an hour or something like that. Track and see what the results your customers are getting, your clients are getting. And if you're getting them big increases, then you can start justifying a price increase. Listen, I'm charging $150 and these people are making so much money. I'm going to go up to $250 or for $5 and test it. So that the best thing to do is test it. But I would say test high, not low. Like don't cut your price, go higher. So at least have 2 different price points, have 2 sales pages, have 2 funnels, or just have 2 price points. If you're using the organic way, like maybe doing Instagram posts or things like that, have 2 different price points. If you're doing a strategy call, have 2 price points and see and I'm telling you, people amaze themselves that more people will take the higher one. Or you could have, it really depends. I mean, I think 2 is enough. So I would say sit down, spend the time, look at your, it's always nice to, I like to look at the competition. I like to look and see what the market is, has out there. And then you can test according to that. But at the end of the day, you want to value your time, your time. So again, if we want to help people, but it's not a charity, right? You're not like helping people for free. That's not the, society we're living in. There's nothing wrong with asking people for money if you're going to change your lives, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's what capitalism is all about. So I'm never anti making money, but I am pro helping that to lead. But as if you're doing that, and the reason I charge $2,000 an hour is I know I'm worth it. I know if you listen to this podcast right now, I'm pretty sure it's a free podcast. Just in this time, if people implement what I'm sharing with you, I know their business is going to change. I know for a fact it is, because I've given a lot of free content to people. But the sad thing is sometimes when it's free, people don't implement, right?
Yeah, that's another story. Yeah.
That's the sad part. A lot of times people, when I'm getting for free. So that's why when you charge for, like, if I charge for this, I know people will use it more, right? So I would say split test. So the mindset still is important, but I would say split testing prices and then go with a higher price and you'll be amazed what can happen.
Oh, okay, cool. Very, very, very valuable advice.